I really like the church team. I really especially like how we got the name the church team.
One of our friends, who does not have anything to do with church, said,
"What are you guys, like the fucking church team?"
How it looked from outsiders must have been that it had more to do with church than blackjack. So the label just kind of stuck.
The label church team is one of the reasons that actually swayed me to join. I knew that there were good, godly people who cared about Jesus and cared about integrity and cared about me even. That's one of the main reasons that I joined.
It's a blackjack team that is called the church team. Those two things going together never gets old. The idea of blackjack started with me with just the idea that you could beat the casino, that you could learn a system that consistently worked, where you knew that you had the edge and had the odds against this giant thing that seemed so big and unconquerable. My first real encounter with beating it, or how to beat it mathematically, was through a book called How to Make $100,000 a Year Gambling, and I read a chapter about how to beat blackjack. It took me about 5 minutes to read, and I said, hey, I could do that.
Is this blackjack? Blackjack. Let's do it.
There's two things with blackjack that make it interesting for me. One is being self-employed, and the second is that it's blackjack.
I think naturally my personality is, I don't mind getting in trouble, and I love out-of-the-box thinking. And card counting is exactly that. You're getting in trouble, and it's out of the box.
I don't mean to cause any trouble. We just want to play some blackjack.
When I first started playing blackjack, I had no dreams or thoughts about it ever going big at all. I thought it would just be me, and I thought it would be a fun summer, possibly. I never, ever imagined blackjack becoming a business or becoming a company or me actually making money off it.
He told me he'd been reading a book on it, and of course I just graduated with a math degree, so it sounded really cool from an academic standpoint. Ben was at a place where he was willing to put his money together with me, and we started our first bankroll together.
A guy that I had taught how to play blackjack previously came to us and said, hey, do you mind if I play for you? And we said, sure.
I flew out to Vegas one day. He met me there, and we drove back to the casino in a limousine, and I was like, what the heck is going on, you know?
Before we knew it, he told another guy, and those two guys each told another person. We have friends that tell friends, friends that tell bosses, friends that tell their pastors.
I met Colin Jones through the worship pastor at my church. The pastor said that I should meet his bassist, Colin Jones. I was stoked. I couldn't believe that there was a team of blackjack players that was all Christians. It just seemed like just God at work.
There was actually a church planting conference in our town. They told my husband and some of the other pastors about what they were doing, and my husband literally had to stop them and call me on the phone because he knew this is something that I would be super excited about.
At a community group from our church, and he and his wife had to skip out early, and I was like, well, where are you guys going? And they both kind of looked at each other, and finally he said, well, we're kind of taking some blackjack lessons. And I was just like, what?
Well, my friend Mike Foster, who I knew through church planting, he had told me that he was a professional blackjack player, which of course my initial reaction was that he was most likely on crack.
It's so far in the left field to think that someone would be a professional blackjack player, let alone have a whole team. And the fact that everyone we knew was in ministry of some sort was just awesome.
If it hadn't been named church team and it wasn't a bunch of Christians and people serving in their church, helping people and caring about the community, I probably wouldn't have done it.
These people that play blackjack for us, before being our employees, they're our friends. We have people on this team that are held together by a much bigger thing than blackjack. Welcome to team meeting. We're gonna eat, we're gonna talk. that's pretty much it.
All right, let's pray. God, thank you for the food. Lord, we thank you for the team, our people on it. God, it's a good thing that you give us ways to provide for our families and to just meet these awesome people. So, amen.
The church team is amazing in a lot of ways.
I love the people on our team. I love working with them. I enjoy hanging out with them. I enjoy living life with them and talking about far deeper things than blackjack. One of the crazy things is how many people on our team actually are pastors and church planners.
To be involved in ministry usually takes a large amount of time, and if you have this opportunity to fly to Vegas for 2 or 3 days and make as much as you need to live off of for a month in 3 days, then you can spend the rest of the month shepherding the people that are part of your church.
Ameliorate. Ameliorate. Ameliorate.
I have to say this word.
Ameliorate.
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 To make or become better. This gospel ameliorates distressing symptoms.
Ameliorate.
You know, I pastor a church called Seven Hills. I'm trying to start a bunch of churches here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The best way to tell people how big your church is, if someone asks, you can just tell them, oh, we're running under 500 right now. And it happens to be true if you have 15 people. I was in a transition, trying to find a way to have enough time and enough income to start a church, and I was looking for a job that would do that, and I couldn't find anything. And then my friend, he told me about this blackjack thing, and that through his pastor, they were gonna learn how to play blackjack professionally, you know, so blackjack became an option suddenly. People are attracted to controversy, and that's one reason I avoid talking about what I do for a living, and I play on a blackjack team, most of you know, and naturally that raises a lot of questions. First off, how could a Christian play blackjack? All the more, how could a pastor do that? You shouldn't have secrets about what you do, especially as a pastor, but as a Christian on whole. So it's been hard to talk to people about because it's a long conversation. And so basically you talk to someone for 1 hour and you think they're with you, and then they have a bunch of new ideas that crop up in their head that you already dealt with. So it's irritating to have to keep explaining the same thing over and over again. So my temptation to not talk about it is more for that reason than for someone looking down on me or whatever. And the reason the camera crew is here because they want to do a documentary about our blackjack team, and one thing that makes our team very different is that we're mainly, almost entirely made up of Christians, and our motivation for what we do is that we'd see the kingdom go forth, and the way we try to work is in a way that glorifies God. And what I'm hoping will come of this is that people will see that the gospel absolutely, positively changes everything, and that redemption can creep into the most unexpected places.
Come on in, guys. My name's Ken Reed. I'm director of table games at Fantasy Springs in California. I grew up in Atlantic City. That's where I started. And 28 years later, I'm still doing it. So I do enjoy it. I mean, the business has been good to me. And I've met a lot of interesting people, a lot of interesting customers.
Hey, Sheldon. What's up? Smile. Best part about you is you'll be here tomorrow, too.
I've been actually very fortunate, from Caesars to Golden Nugget to Foxwoods. I've worked in 3 of the biggest places in the world at that time. I think I've seen it all, but I say that and then next week I see something else and I say, oh my God. So. I don't even know if I should get into it. To be a good card counter, you gotta be patient. Let's just put it that way. All it takes is a lot of practice. You can't do it overnight, but it's definitely something we're on the alert for 24/7 in any casino. And of course, if I catch you counting cards or surveillance, then we just ask you to leave. I mean, hell, we've got a whole book of card counters in the office from all over the country. Bottom line is, cheaters are everywhere. In any casino in the world. It's the nature of our business. We got the money. And if you got the money, somebody's going to try to take it.
Cool, guys. Welcome to the meeting. 2 years ago, from basically this month, we had our first meeting here. And we sat here up front, and there was 9 people, and we were like, holy crap, that's a lot of people. You know, just to let you guys know where we're coming from, I mean, this is like really awesome for us to be able to be a part of this. We got firefighters, nurses, people planning churches, pastoring churches, you know, watching kids, mothers, fathers, whatever, all people that are a part of this team. Who would ever think that that's even like possible? And it's like, I don't know, like I'm working my dream job, and it's because of like you guys here.
You know, it's been another good quarter. Any guesses on how much we took from casinos in 2007? 900,000, 1.2, $1 million, something like that. Boom!
Oh, you got it.
$1.58 million taken out of casinos this year. I'm excited to take more money from casinos next year.
So for those of you that hate casinos, we're doing our part.
Everybody hates casinos on our blackjack team, but I hate casinos. It's a black hole. Like, they just suck goodness out of the world. I hate them.
On the loose with some bait and the news to trap the rat that stole his loot.
I've never played any type of cards or blackjack, gambling. I've never done anything like that before this. Originally, I came from a very conservative Christian background. I was told, you know, don't cuss, don't have sex, don't gamble, don't shoot somebody, and like you'll be a good person. I haven't shot anybody. My first day of training is the first time I ever stepped into a casino in my life. I was painting houses at the time and wanted to shoot myself. I was desperate. My old roommate, Ford, he walked in one day to our apartment and he said, "Mark, I'm gonna play blackjack." And I said, "Ford, you're an idiot." And I turned around and walked out of the room. And I was like, this guy's so stupid. Like, what a dumb thing to do. And now, a year later, here I am.
Probably the biggest misconceptions about what we do would be that you have to be a rocket scientist to do it, or math whiz.
You know, this idea they have to be a genius to be a card counter is foolish.
It has a lot to do with practice and repetition and mastering it. That has to do with just having an incredible ability to understand these complex concepts.
So the game of blackjack is actually pretty simple. You have a dealer and you have players. And the player wins by beating the dealer or the house. So the goal of the game is for the total sum of your cards to be as close to 21 as possible without actually going over. So if your total is higher than the dealer's, you win your bet. But if your total is lower than the dealer's, you lose your bet. So you play round after round, and most people end up losing all their money out of their wallets, and people can actually just go broke, losing their entire bank accounts because the house will always win. Unless you can turn the house advantage into your advantage by counting cards. How you do that is you really just have to use your brain. While playing, you have to keep a running tally of the cards that have been played by assigning them a value of +1, -1, or 0. So for every 10 or face card, you subtract 1. For every card numbered 2 through 6, you would add 1. And the middle cards, 7, 8, and 9, are neutral, so you don't have to do anything. And when the count is high, you know that there's more face cards that are left in the deck, and that's when the odds are actually in your favor, so you would bet high, because you're more likely to get a blackjack or 2 face cards than anything else. And it's actually really that simple, but there's kind of a lot of other smaller things that I don't really mention, like you have to memorize 2 or 3 different charts, determine the number of decks that are left in the discard tray, you have to know exactly what to bet based on the count, and you have to do all this kind of in your head while not losing track of the count or making any other mistakes.
I think what convinced me to join was really just my strong sense of adventure. Like, I just want to do something different than the average person. Hopefully, At some stage, like when my boys are all teenagers, they'll look back and think it's cool, maybe listen to Dad a little bit more because he's not just some dry, boring guy, you know? It really fulfills just my urge to get out there and do something different from the norm. I started playing earlier in the year, and I played for about a 4 or 5 month period, and then slowed down dramatically so I could work on an online business. We do a couple other businesses. I actually sell a nutritional product called The Feast. I've picked up a lot of maternity jeans. You know, these have the brand new tag on them, says $68. I got them for $12. I decided to hop on the internet and look up nose filters and see if there was such a thing. And lo and behold, I found these. The problem is if you cut it, you're gonna totally lose them back in your nose, and that's not a good thing. We do a little bit of everything, so, but I like it like that. We have flexible schedules. We get to spend a lot of time with each other and with our kids. Okay, come over here. Put some money in there. I am a pastor. That's not to say I have a completely clear conscience about it. There are times when I think, I wonder if I really should be doing this, but I feel like I'm okay with it, and I feel like God's okay with it. And if I ever felt like God wasn't okay with it, I'd stop.
I love this picture. He has a lot of good pictures. This is Ben. He's very persistent. Whatever he does, he never give up. He goes 100%. He goes. It's him here. Oh my goodness. He wanted to go for possible medical field. Nurse first, and then maybe doctor. He mentioned that. And then this blackjack, after that, I've never heard anything anymore.
My mom, she doesn't understand it.
Well, he kept telling me that it's not, what do you call those things?
Gambling?
Gambling. That's what he said. And I try to understand. Maybe it's not gambling. It's work. I don't know exactly what words you would use.
I feel like in the Christian community and just the community at large, for the most part, gambling is not necessarily viewed as a positive thing.
Family members or friends just can't get over the hurdle that it's casinos, and casinos are dirty places, and Christians should have no associations with casinos.
I've seen so many people wrestle and actually say, like, I am sending people to hell.
Christians like to make extra rules to try to help us, to safeguard us. But it ends up just being lots of rules and looking like we're all uptight, which we are.
One of the first things my mom told me when I told her what I was doing was that she'd rather have me sell cocaine for a living than play blackjack.
I just heard that he was playing blackjack, and I thought, oh man.
My father-in-law called and asked what I did on days that I wasn't substitute teaching. I said, well, actually, I've been doing some short-term investing.
And I said, what do you mean investing? And they kind of got into it, and finally he admitted to playing blackjack, and he said, it's not gambling. It's not gambling. I said, yes, it is. I argued from, just his laziness of it, that you're just not, I argued from a spiritual, I brought the Bible into it.
The biggest misconception is people think that you're walking down a route that is really dark and really dangerous.
You'd think of gambling addiction, you think of all the really bad stuff that kind of goes with it, from just being a bad environment.
Explaining what we do to someone to the full extent can take anywhere from a couple hours to weeks, because people come back with more questions.
Aren't you worried that you'll be tempted to start gambling and you'll just get addicted? What about the sleaze factor? And I'll say, 75-year-old women never turn on to me. And that's pretty much all I play with.
So isn't that illegal?
Everybody, for some reason, thinks addition and division is illegal when you go into a casino. I don't get it.
But it's just ignorance on their part, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but they literally just don't understand how the team is set up, who it's run by, who its members are, and how the math works.
So how does it all work? There's 3 different categories of people. There's the players, the managers, and then you have the investors. And how it works is the investors give all of their money to the managers. At times, we've had amounts totaling up to $1.5 million, and we call this the team bankroll. And it's the manager's job. They take this money and they distribute it to the blackjack players that they've trained. And then the players then take this money to the casinos, and this is where they count the cards, and then hopefully they win lots of money. But here's the deal, the players don't get to keep the money because the money belongs to the team, and they get paid an hourly wage. and it doesn't matter if they win or lose, they get the same kind of pay rate. Whenever the team wins a total of $100,000 as far as profit, we call it closing a bankroll. And so the main goal of the team is to close as many bankrolls as possible. And when they do close one, the profits are split up among the managers, the players, and the investors, and everyone's happy. So in a lot of ways, it's structured just like any other business, but then again, it's kind of not. I believe in the team, I believe in the money that it makes, I believe in the system, and because of that, we have virtually all of our liquid assets tied up in the blackjack team.
We've taken out a hefty sum on a 0% interest credit card and plopped it in the bankroll. We cashed out all of our IRAs and all of our 401k plans from old jobs and consolidated everything. And yeah, full tilt, get every cent in there you can.
In the end, I ended up taking out a home equity loan just to put more money into it. I think it's such a sure thing. I mean, once you see the math and understand how everything works, it's just, I think it's dumb to not invest.
At first, my thought of being lazy and just having fun, realized that, hey, they're working hard. And so then just kind of slowly Colin and Ben both, just their hard work kind of won us over over a period of time. Initially, we invested like $5,000. I had to win her over at that point. I said, hey, you know, we're pretty strapped. We own this place here, and we don't have a lot of money left over at the end of the month. So we took out a home equity loan. We invested, I think, 150 at one point. We were up to 200,000. It slowly grew on us, and so she's still thinking that it's wrong. And she's, you know, we've been married 31 years, so.
Hello.
Hey man, it's me.
Hey Ben.
What's up?
Not much, dude. How are you?
Pretty good. So have you heard the news about the bankroll ending?
No, it's over?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. My voice. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, I suppose it kind of is, huh? When we close the bankroll, it means that we reach our goal of $100,000. When that happens, investors get paid out, managers get paid out, players get paid out. We celebrate, we go out to dinner. It's the biggest event that we have is when we close a bankroll. We all get paid, we all enjoy kind of like, hey, high five, we did this together.
It's just a huge rush. It's like winning the lottery.
You know, Colin called me up and he's like, so where are you at? And I was like, I'm up about 50 grand. What? You're up 50 grand? I was like, yeah. Oh my gosh, I think we just closed 2 bankrolls in a week.
Hey, I was calling with some good news for you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the bankroll closed.
Shut up, did it really?
It did.
It is the most exciting thing when you close bankroll because there's just like this energy and adrenaline when you realize that you made all this extra money.
It's gonna be a nice fat check.
You're not serious.
I am serious.
You're serious?
Yep.
Holy shit, that's good news.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming and for celebrating with us, and go bankroll 12 through 27 in 2008.
Right.
Originally, I kept my cash in that bookshelf behind the books. I had my Bibles and commentaries on a lower section so that, you know, it'd be behind books that nobody ever read. But, yeah, not so secure. I got a safe since then from my church. So this is my inner sanctum. This is where I keep my money. Shh, don't tell anybody. Here's all my money. I got 40, 60, 50, 60, 70, 80. 80 grand there. That's 5. And that's 2. It's pretty much just money.
Carrying large amounts of cash is just part of what we do. I'll never forget the first time I went to a casino with $800 and I thought the entire world was staring at me. I knew that I had $800 in my pocket. I thought everyone else knew it. You're walking through the parking lot, looking behind your back, and it was a rush. 1 year later, we're carrying $80,000 in our pocket and you don't even notice.
At first it's like, somebody's gonna mug me. But then I look at like what I'm wearing and I'm like, my shoes have holes in them and I'm like, nobody looks at me and says, oh, that guy's got money. Nobody's gonna mug me, you know?
It's really weird having money in your freezer or, you know, tucked under your mattress. This is a company completely built on trust.
They put thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars have passed through my hands.
I could have stole a lot of money. Maybe I did. I mean, maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe it's invested somewhere. They'll never know, though.
Transporting and carrying the money, though, is a very big issue that we deal with on our team. It's difficult to carry, and if you just think of pocket space, it ends up being quite an issue, just getting through airports.
You kind of have to sneak the money through.
I have these leg strap things, and they just kind of go around your calf, and you can basically get, you know, whatever, something like 40 to 50,000 if you've got baggy pants on strapped in there.
There's almost this impression that it's illegal.
I've been stopped 3 times at the airport and told, like, what's in your pockets? Empty your pockets.
I think the big impression is if you have money, you're a drug dealer.
This is from the Pennsylvania State Police when they stop me because they think I deal drugs. I don't.
Yeah, I usually carry it in my bag when I leave home, check into the ticket counter, and then I make a stop in the bathroom and then transfer it all into my waistline. Or if it's summertime and I've got cargo shorts on or whatever, I'll load those up and then I just head through security there and pray I don't get stopped.
We're dealing with betting hands and winning and losing hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You're thinking about the fact that you have sitting in front of you 2 or 3 times the amount that a normal person makes in an entire year. You're putting that on the line kind of at the table.
The thought of losing $40,000 in an hour and a half, like, oh my gosh, that's my school teacher's salary. You have to divorce yourself from what it really is or else you'll go crazy. I love it that there's $111,000 in here and a bunch of sand.
It's crazy to say this, but I had lost all of my, I stopped looking at that as money.
When I see $100 bills, sometimes I forget that I could actually buy something with them. I just look at a $100 bill and I think oh, that's one of those blackjack things, you know?
It's really weird, but it's like Monopoly money. I used to think about money differently. Money was a big deal at one time, and now money is just money.
Says, do me a favor, put 119 on my screen, please.
Will do.
Thank you. The first time I went into a casino, I won $500, and boy, that sets the hook. I swear I see that more often than not. Sometimes stupidity is a beautiful thing, because I didn't know what I was doing. Not at all. They remember that first time all the time. And I see that a lot. It's almost uncanny-like, you know? And then I see them 10 times after that, and they've got long faces sometimes.
I think all casinos are wrong in the fact that they mislead people and they give people the hope that they're going to be able to win, and obviously that's not the case.
The casino knows that they have the statistical advantage, which basically sounds to me like they're taking advantage of the disadvantaged. And what I love about blackjack is we get to turn that on its head and say, statistically, if I play long enough, I'm going to win. I'm going to actually take from this casino's profits. And I get a strange amount of pride out of being able to do that. It doesn't seem like one of the most noble things a person could do in the world, but at least we can liberate the money from the clutches of those who would use it for ill purposes. You know? I mean, that's a start.
I think what makes me angry about casinos is that they're hypocrites.
They give the impression through all of their advertising that it's a place for fun and for winning, but then you go inside and anyone that has a chance of winning, they'll remove from their property.
I don't want your action.
So you're saying I can't play blackjack just regular?
Correct. Correct.
Okay,
So you
so
can
everyone
either-
else can.
Yep.
You get kicked out, and it's their job to kick you out, and they don't think twice about if there's anything bankrupt about that.
That doesn't seem like a reasonable thing for me to try to play as best as I can.
Nope.
They have all these signs like, come and win, play blackjack, win big, get rich instantly. So I'll show up and I'll start getting rich instantly, and they're like, you're not welcome here anymore. If you come back, we'll arrest you. And it's like, why? I'm just getting rich instantly. You advertised to get rich instantly. Why are you kicking me out of here?
Did you get the money back? Yeah. Keep working at it.
I'm Greg Means. I'm the casino manager for PJ Pockets Casino. You can do a lot of damage as a card counter to a small card room like this, and so we're actually very vigilant at, keeping an eye on those things. If I get a new player that comes in, I've never seen this player before, and they start playing, decent money, or they buy in for a decent amount of money, we're probably going to take a look at them automatically. Nothing happens here for very long that we don't figure it out.
Whenever I go into a casino, there's the anticipation. I know I'm doing something that's frowned upon, and they're gonna find out. I just see the black domes on the ceiling, and it's like, yeah, somebody can see me. If they're not looking, they should be.
We're doing an assessment on a gentleman back on 2-run 3.
This could be interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm totally certain there are people watching me, and it's one of those things that I've tried to get used to, and sometimes I just have to tell myself, no, there's no way they're onto me yet.
Surveillance. Okay, thank you. Gotcha. Card counters tend to play really big amounts of money when the shoes are good, and so you end up with someone who could win thousands of dollars, and it makes it a lot harder to offset that money with the smaller play in the room. We've been really diligent at making sure that we don't play games with those kind of people, and we just tell them, look, I don't want your blackjack action. You can play whatever else you want to play. We're polite about it and stuff like that, but you're going to get caught.
Getting kicked out of casinos is just part of the job. You get used to it. It can be friendly, it can be not so friendly.
I have been kicked out of a lot of casinos.
I think I've been backed off of every casino I've been to.
I don't know, hundreds. I've been kicked out of the Boyd casinos, let alone 30 times.
The first time I got backed off, it was really easy. I just walked in, and she walked up to me smiling and said, "Hi, Mark." And I was like, "Hi, whatever your name is." She's like, "You can't play blackjack." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, you're a card counter." And I was like, "Yes, I am." Okay, see you later.
I approach casinos with the thought in mind, I'm here to get kicked out. And if they don't, then hey, that's cool for me.
My philosophy when I got into blackjack was just play until they kick you out.
I walk in and I just play as hard and as fast as I can until it's over.
No, I'm convinced. I've seen enough. Yeah, he's gonna get backed off tonight.
Typically, getting thrown out of a casino is not like you see in the movies, unless you end up getting arrested and thrown in jail. But that's only happened to me once.
Back-offs are usually a lot more mild than most people would think going into this whole thing.
Been watching you play a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've decided we don't want to take your blackjack action anymore. Yeah.
But every once in a while, you'll get people that are taking extra pride in their job at finding out that you're a card counter.
If we have concerns, then we'll either have surveillance watch or do what we got to do.
They'll threaten to backroom you. They'll try to intimidate you.
Every other casino, they're going to try to find you. They're going to get you too.
The better you are at it, the word kind of gets out that, look, Fantasy Springs know what they're doing, so stay away. I mean, they've got their own little network. Trust me on that.
We just say, please leave. And they know. They know. I've never had an argument with a card counter yet. Not one.
I've never seen anybody go in the back room yet. I'm sure I never will.
There are all sorts of stories we have of dressing up in costumes and playing, all to play in a casino without them figuring out who I really am. I have dressed up as an Indian with a turban, a suit, and a beard down to here, and Colleen dressing up as a cowboy. I was, as the ultimate mockery in all casinos, dressed up as an MIT professor, which is where card counting originated from, and Colin was dressed up as a gangster. That's just part of the game.
So we're heading to Snoqualmie Casino. It's opening night, so there's gonna be tons of chaos. So we're gonna play some blackjack and meet up with some other team members, and they're gonna have no idea what's going on tonight.
I think I realized the difference between Ben and I is when I dress up for a casino, my goal is to blend in, and when Ben dresses up for a casino, his goal is to stick out.
There's gonna be lots of people dressed like this tonight there, I guarantee it.
Great.
I think they've been the most creative team. Before we've had some teams in, it's just been standard play. It's been no disguises. It's just the team spreading apart on your casino floor where you have to put the pieces together and find out who all's there with them. So as far as the changing of appearance and the extra effort as far as the kind of theatrics, I think that's a Ben exclusive trait. So he can pull off the drunk, young, rich kid. He can pull off, you know, whatever you need to pull off. And I think he can go undetected for a little bit of time at most places. I know they travel, so I don't know if they hit every casino or not, but once you hit a place, each time you hit again, you're more and more quickly identified because they're used to you. And even though you're changing appearance, there's still things about you. And if you look like the guy we think you are, we'll start checking for tattoos, we'll start watching the play, and we're all over it, so.
I walked in and started looking for players. It was just packed. I saw David Drury first. It was pretty stinking funny. He looks like he's 60 years old.
David had the full Republican garb, sweater vest, a white hat that had the Republican elephant on it.
It explains why I have a lot of money, and it explains why I'm really bad at tipping. And people don't want to talk to me either, so that's an added bonus.
Collins was okay. I think he pulled it off because, you know, one of the things with the costumes is you want people to either A, just not recognize you, or B, kind of write you off. You know, they don't even think of you as a card counter because they see you as a janitor or some, you know, whatever I am. I walked right past people that had met me at other casinos and they had no idea. So, I mean, I think my outfit did the job in that it was just like so extreme.
No, yeah, good disguise. You get the grime on the hands and stuff.
So what are the results all?
I won 1,000.
Good, you made up for my loss. Nice.
You lost 1,000.
It was a good night. It was fun, but, you know, not what we expected, that's for sure. But that's the thing with casinos. You never know what to expect. Like, they backed off in 86, like 3 people, escorted them off the parking lot. They spotted people from nowhere. Then they let me play the whole time. They let Colin play the whole time. I mean, we like run the team. They don't even know who we are, and it seems like, you know, it was worth it. But it could have been a lot better.
Most of the card counters, they all think they can beat the casino. But even the best card counter days will get beat.
Losing at blackjack is something most players never, ever, ever get used to.
You lose about 45% of the time that you walk into a casino, and then you win the other 55% of the time.
You know, you can walk in and have a string of wins or a string of losses, And the important thing is over time that averages out to be still a net positive.
Because there is so much variance in the game, there's these huge fluctuations.
There was one time in Minnesota, I think I was up 100,000 and gave most of it back before the end of the session.
The most I ever lost in a session was at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and I lost about $86,000 in 3 hours. I'll never forget the sinking feeling that you get from doing what you know is the right thing to do mathematically and just not seeing it work.
I start to lose and I'm like, but I'm like, math, like I have to praise and champion math because I know this is mathematics, not myself.
I'd never experienced a loss like that. And I just kept having all this doubt about myself, like, am I doing something wrong? Am I sure I'm on with my count? Go review my strategy charts to make sure I wasn't making any errors there.
When you lose in blackjack, it shows you how emotional we are.
You question whether you're doing it right. You question why you're not winning because you expect to win.
Obviously, you're an advantage player, so you should have the advantage, and sometimes it doesn't seem that way, so it can be tough.
You gotta be confident in yourself and confident in your playing abilities and the training you've had.
Risk and playing well and playing right is going to involve losses, and you just have to be able to calculate that risk and be able to deal with it.
There is genuinely something like not up to par about the team. That doesn't mean it's not a winning team, and that doesn't mean that we think people are stealing. It just means it's not up to par. Maybe things got lax, we grew too fast, whatever. I don't know.
As we started to realize this, we realized, okay, there are people on this team who we cannot incentivize because they are not on this team for the purpose of this team. Hence, there is a question that comes down to incentive of, are you doing what's best for the team? That's really the question. And I think everyone can say that they're not 100%. So our goal is to make it a higher percentage in the future.
We want someone to want the team to win, not to do something that just incentivizes himself.
So unfortunately, there's people that are on the team in this circle now, and we're kind of making the circle smaller, and hopefully everyone can shuffle in. That we want to see everyone be able to make that transition. That is like the best case scenario.
What happened was our manager told me, you know what, you haven't played for a little bit now, and before we can let you play again, you're going to have to come out and retest. So that's actually what I've been preparing for over the last few weeks, and this weekend I'll be retesting and be fully back on the team. But I'm planning on playing a whole lot.
Running count.
18, 19.
It was 22 when the round started. And it went to 21, 20, and went back to 21.
I never did feel really super comfortable, through the process. I always felt like, is there something I'm falling short on, or is there something I don't have, as well as I should? But I don't know. Sometimes I guess I question if I'm this anxious about it, I wonder how other team members are. They're either way smarter than I am, and therefore more calm about it, or they're just not letting on that they're making mistakes.
What count does 13 hit against 3? So, what's our running count?
10.
9, 10, 11. Yeah. Should be 11. It's frustrating because I've said the same thing to him probably 6 times in the last 3 or 4 days. And it doesn't seem like there's any progress. It's like the same mistakes.
Hey, so more of the same?
Yeah, and more of exactly the same, except he got off on his count some this time, which he hasn't ever done before. He's saying it's a bad
Oh man, that's annoying. Do you know where he is now?
He said he was heading over to your place.
He's not here.
I don't know, maybe like had a breakdown.
I can't really even imagine any news being good at this point. I feel like it's game over, basically. What'd you think?
I don't know. It's weird. Yesterday, I was more aggravated than I am today. I think it's because yesterday, I already told Colin, I was like, I talked to God about this, and I'm like, all right, maybe you have something else planned for me. I said, but I know my stuff. I know the numbers. I know the charts. I know the correct decisions. I know how, to figure everything. But I keep having basic mess ups, and I mean, they are.
Man, it's so confusing to me. I don't know what to make of it as far as, it's like, I know you've put work into it, and that's like, that's what's hard from our end, it's like, we'd love nothing more to be able to pass you, but.
And for some reason, there's some basic something that's just missing every time I sit down with you guys, which apparently means probably every time I'm in a casino, I'm missing stuff.
I don't know what to tell you as far as improvement. I don't know what it would take for you to test out at this point. I think the best thing for us to do is, like, on the record, put you on inactive. Mm-hmm. Off the record, you're basically, like, done being a player. My instinct right now is I can't see it swinging back. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like it's going to be with, the wife and stuff?
We've been married 12 and a half years, and we just know if something like, this isn't the first anything we've been through, so it might just very simply be something I'm not supposed to do. It's not my thing.
Yeah, kind of a strange week and a strange way to end it, but I guess that's that,
That's it.
That's done with. Jason's gone. What? Jason left. I don't think he's coming back.
I wish I could just say, oh, well, we've been having bad luck. But it's been discouraging for me to come to the point saying, no, we've kind of got ourselves into a hole because we've created kind of a poorly trained blackjack team. They say, like, one of the most dangerous things for a new business or for a young business is to grow too quickly. From last January through May, we won like $800,000 in 5 months. And so we're like, oh, this team's awesome, it's unstoppable. And then it took 10 months of us just thinking, oh, well, we're just having a bad run of things. And now 10 months later, it's like, nope, it's definitely not a bad run of things. If the team goes on this way for very long, it's inevitable that we'll go bankrupt.
Well, the team's status has just been pretty poor. We've underperformed immensely. I didn't think we were going to make it through this bankroll. I thought we were going to shut the door. And for my own personal investment, I wanted us to shut the door, Like,
you're scared for it?
Well, yeah. That's all the money we have is in this stupid blackjack team. We can trust people's integrity. I don't think people are stealing, but something's not working because our team isn't working. plan is Belterra, Grand Vic, up to Chicago. I'm very eager to try to perfect this thing as quickly as possible. Ideally, I would like to get a minimum of 10 hours in. That's gonna be pretty tough. Chicago's not a very card counter friendly city. My mentality is when I go into a casino, I'm gonna burn it down. I always have a goal, like for an hour, I wanna make $10,000. Ready for the next casino. When I go to those casinos, I expect to get no more than half an hour in. So it's not really worth like the drive unless you're able to stick it out. This could potentially be disaster, but I guess we'll find out. We need some hours in here, pretty bad. So I'm getting a player's card made up for me with somebody else's name on it. I've never done that before. This is kind of experimenting. I've had an incredible winning streak. We just need like another 380,000 and we'll close the bankroll. If I could play till 3 in the morning, that would be awesome. If I could play till 4 in the morning, even cooler. So last time we came here, I got backed off pretty severely. They wanted to back room me, and I caused a big scene. And I faked a phone call to my attorney. And I was like, my attorney says to put my arms straight up in the air and wave at the camera, and then put them straight by my side and walk to the first exit. My last place to go.
So anyways, congratulations guys for bankroll, whatever number this was.
14.
14.
2 bankrolls, 2 months. Not bad. As a team, in 3 weeks, we took $140,800 from casinos. Mr. Dusty Wisnu made $3,076. We got Mr. Brad Curra, who made $4,801. We got Mr. Drury, who made $5,893 in 3 weeks. And we've got Mr. Benjamin 80, who made $7,421 in the state of Washington in 3 weeks. All right.
I think after 6 months of losing, positive variances kind of kick back in.
You know, now that there's some serious player incentive, like every time we come to one of these bankroll dinners, we don't just get a free meal, I just got a check for $2 grand. So it like doubled my pay effectively. It's pretty sweet.
So $4,800 in 3 weeks, and I think I worked 20 some hours. Or maybe 30 hours. Not even that much.
It's pretty weird. Whenever you're closing bankrolls, it's hard to remember that there was a time when you weren't closing bankrolls.
Man, when the bankroll closes fast and it goes over, it's nothing but like, you know, ching, ching, ching.
We have like money flowing out of our ears in those times. And then of course, when you're not closing bankrolls, it's like totally lame.
I'm convinced we're gonna close more bankrolls. It makes me feel better about the whole idea of the team.
I definitely feel like there's a huge kind of mental shift that has happened.
There's a lot more incentive to play efficiently and win.
It's just so good. There's a potential of a greater chance of something going wrong because of it. It's like, it's too good. that like in a communication level, it's healthier, and in a lot of ways, just we have really quality people, and that's really cool. I think that it is a little bit odd, and just a couple new guys that none of us really know. Man, I'm paranoid now. I really feel uncomfortable having an unbeliever on the team. It's nothing against him at all. I really like the guy a lot. But I think that makes the whole thing volatile to me and just kind of freaky. There's a sense of trust that is almost impossible to have with people in general that you know well even. But it's kind of easy to read people who are believers and you kind of get a feel for who they are. I think it's tough with unbelievers. It's just really hard. I wish you could just be the same old people all the time. Just don't know if it's the smartest move for this is a good idea, let's do this,
The whole church team thing, you guys are in our homes, you're around our kids, we make intimate business decisions with you. Our goal, just so you guys know, isn't to just create a white Anglo-Saxon Christian team. That was never our purpose. But those happen to be, in a lot of ways, the types of people who we shared values with, who we shared commonality relationships with, and who we trusted. It is a huge part of our life and what we are about. And the business, there's no line for us as far as the bit is not here's Christianity and here's business. So for us, it's kind of one and the same. So for that matter, we found that the best partners for us have been people that share a lot of our values. So that was, a lot of people that we decided to travel along this blackjack road with. The primary thing that holds our team together is relationships, not blackjack. The people that play for us because we know about them and we're friends with them and we care about them and they care about us.
They've prayed over me, I pray over them and their families and the things that are going on in their ministries. That's life, that's relationships to us, is really just seeing the ministries that these people are doing and feeling like I have some part in it.
I know that as a Christian, people in the faith are considered family, and I really take that seriously.
They challenge me in my faith, and they challenge me in living life well and not playing by the rules that somebody else set up.
We do have that kind of commonality with the other Christians on the team, is we realize we have souls. And ultimately, we work and we do what we do because of the state of our soul, not to build an empire and not to just buy more stuff.
Blackjack makes people reassess what Christianity is, and in a good way. My wife and I always say that we want to live in the gray, because in the gray, you've got to question who you are and what you're doing. I hate the thought of being to a point where I just get slapped on this label of, oh, yeah, that's a Christian. That's a good guy. He reads his Bible and whatever goes to soup kitchens. It's much deeper than that. It's about who you really are inside.
I've learned a lot from different people on the team, different perspectives that they have on things, and I think that makes us what we are. I don't think that we would be able to do this without who we have.
Rank count.
9. So tonight we're going to the Emerald Queen, and that's where we're going to be doing a retest of all the players on the team. It's going to be the same as always. We're going to request the count by giving the signal. You guys are going to pass it. When the team was small, people used to come alongside of us, and they'd play with us, and we'd be able to watch their game and see them improve. After we got 10 people, we just teach them how to play, and then we send them off on their own and assume they know and learn things, but they don't. So we see them at these tests, they do the craziest things. We're just oh my gosh, how did they not learn that? Well, it's they weren't hanging out with us, because there's too many of them. We can't just pay you a lot of money and you run around in casinos acting like a high roller. You need to understand every single aspect of the game and take your job as seriously as any other job. The layout of the Emerald Queen is there's 2 main pits, which you guys can play both of those. The more you guys pass the count, the more we won't ask for it. I don't think anyone will fail. That would be really bad if we saw people playing that bad. Then there'd be a lot of problems. Now people realize is, hey, first things first, if this business is gonna work, people need to play perfect blackjack, period. Otherwise the whole thing falls apart.
Push him back right now.
Holy crap. It's so weird how bad they played. They must have been just freaking out or something. I mean, what the heck?
Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
Jeez, there's a lot of people here. There was a lot of things we noticed that need improving, and for that matter, I think almost everyone, what we realized universally is we're not doing the big bet spread until we solve a lot of kinks in everyone's game. I think people, they have the confidence of a card counter, of course, and they're just used to being able to like feel their way through things. We came up with a lot of people who, if they were to actually do the math, I think would have made different decisions, but the worst case scenario is when you're just rushing through it and you don't do the math, and therefore you don't make the correct decisions. Really, like, the best thing would be to go home right now and send us an email, kind of like your action plan for what you need to do to make whatever we observed disappear and better for the next time. Because kind of the process we're going through now is there's gonna be more test outs. We're gonna be doing a monthly test out required for each person in one way, shape, or form, not out in Seattle. But there is gonna be more accountability for that, which is much needed for us and way overdue. So these things, in the past, we've been really bad at letting things slip through the cracks. That is going to be kind of a thing of the past now.
There's good news and bad news about it. Bad news is our team is so, for the last year, has been so bad that we're performing beyond what you could expect from a blackjack team. The good news is if we fix it, we should never have to worry about a year as bad as this last year. I know you don't want to hear any data, but more importantly than the fact that we are still in the negative is that with that many hours, it's statistically impossible to have that happen with legitimate card counting. So then the question is like, how the hell did that happen? So I tried like running a sim of like 10 bet mistakes per hour and 4 playing mistakes per hour. And the team, instead of playing 100 rounds an hour, like 60, and playing all the way to like a true -5, and that brings it to like, you know, like a 15% chance of such poor performance. And it's like cost us, you know, $4 million theoretically in the last year and a half.
Those numbers are just so crazy. Based upon your calculations, like what happened is like literally impossible. So the fact that we can't explain the data still.
No, we can't. I feel like we can't explain it.
Well, you changed everything to like the most ridiculous proportions, and then even then, it was like a 15% possibility. It still doesn't make sense to me. Like, something's off somewhere.
We're allowed to talk about anything we want, right? I just know that like we were down. You've probably already talked to Ben and Colin about how far down we were. But the last I heard, we were down 450,000. And for the first time, I was really glad that my investment wasn't into bankroll. Holy cow. It just seems a little crazy to be down $450,000. In a money-making venture where you play games. Yeah, Colin sent out this big long email like, hey, we're gonna have some changes. There's some lack of health in the team. There's a 1 in 10,000 chance that we are where we are right now. What's going on? We need to like figure out what's going down. And I just emailed back saying, you think someone might be stealing?
Why don't you go show them where your bed is? First of all, our team's getting killed. One of the good things about it was it made us really examine our business model and think through, well, what are the weaknesses? And of course, the first thing we think through is, you know, is someone stealing from the team? The way our business is currently, they actually could get away with it. That's, I guess, one of the flaws. But at the same time, it is one of our strengths as well, because people know that we trust them. And I think for all of our players, that's a powerful thing.
I realize that trust is a very big issue when you're handling this kind of money. And I've been through seasons of not trusting people on the team, to be quite frank with you.
It just doesn't make sense, you know, like how could people trust each other to that extent?
I recognize the gravity of, oh my gosh, anyone can fudge these numbers. Anyone can make up the numbers. They could say that they played for 4 hours when they played for 1, that they lost 10 grand when they lost nothing, and just take money.
I think that the way that the team grew through close friendships, I think it's about the only way that the team could have grown to this point and really feel like it's secure.
There are times when me and Colin sit around and we say, all right, who do you think is most likely to steal from us?
It's easy to think, well, yeah, someone could be stealing, but whenever I run down the individual players one at a time, I have very little doubt.
If we were to find out someone is stealing, I think the biggest factor that would come into play is not the fact that they stole money, but it'd be the compromise in the relationship that took place.
Really, I have to trust other team members. I suppose if I didn't, it would probably drive me kind of crazy.
I feel like trusting friends is just a part of life, and I feel like it's, in a lot of ways, it's not that difficult.
We've put everything we have on the line in this team. We've borrowed to invest in this team, and I totally trust what they're doing.
Can something happen? Absolutely. I mean, people sin. It's gonna happen. But I trust people on our team.
You want a strawberry? Okay, listen. You guys can have one strawberry each. So pretty much what happens is Brad Kerr calls me up and he's like hemming and hawing. He's like, well, there's this thing I feel like I should tell you, but I feel pretty stupid saying it. I'm like, dude, just say it. After he said it, I wish he wouldn't have said it.
So, 2 different people came to me and said, Benjamin is stealing. They were certain that he was stealing money. It's not really my idea. They just told me because they were concerned.
And how did they know?
I don't know if I should say.
Benjamin was saying that Brad Kura had accused him of apparently stealing money from the team, and when asked for an explanation or a justification for that view, Brad Kura replied, I can't tell you. So I'd be interested to know from Brad Kura's point of view what justified that accusation.
I got to think about this. Is it okay to say this? I had 2 people come to me and tell me that they were certain that he was stealing money. And I said, how do you know that? And they said, the Holy Spirit told me. Sometimes when I pray, the Holy Spirit tells me things.
I've worked with Brad a lot, kind of like outside of the blackjack team. And at first, like, he weirded me out because, you know, he'd say these things like, oh, God told me to play that slot machine. So I did. And then I won, like, $5,000. Brad has a spiritual relationship with God that I don't have or understand, or he's crazy. And in this case, here's the thing, like, I wasn't willing to write him off.
I totally trust Brad, and I have good reason to. So I believe that he believes whatever he says.
Do you have reasons not to trust that he would be hearing from God?
I don't really hear from God in that way.
God has told me all kinds of things. You know what I mean? He's told me a lot of things. He's had me do things that I would never do. And, like, it turns out amazing.
If you actually want to go to the true essence of what we say, I mean, yeah, I believe I hear from God. I believe the Lord speaks to me. But if you put that on camera, people are like, it's just like tough how deep you go into that.
It was really weird. I mean, not only is he not a Christian, he's like one of the most strongest opponents against it. It was funny because how do you tell somebody who doesn't believe in God that God told you that they're stealing?
It makes it more difficult that he's not a Christian because it makes it sound like we're singling him out because he's not a Christian.
So do you think he was stealing?
If I had to like make a bet, I would say probably. So yeah, I would say that he was.
You know, Benjamin Eady's an interesting guy, to say the least. Obviously, his kind of like spiritual, mental, political, just a lot of his stances, and this is what I told him, are very unique. In a team atmosphere where like a lot of unity and trust and other things are like high values, it can, and I think it did, really like compromise it. It made it so that there was less trust, there was less feelings of unity, there was less pride in wanting the entire team to succeed.
I don't know if we made the right decision, but the reason why Benjamin Eady was fired wasn't because he was stealing. Ultimately, it was because he didn't fit the profile of our team. I don't even know if that's the right way of saying it.
Any time that I've had to explain to somebody how our team works, like when I've been arrested, basically law enforcement, the first thing they ask is, how does your employer know you're not stealing from him blind? How do they know you report your wins and losses accurately? And I've always answered, we're all Christians. And that can be really shallow. But at the same time, people always go, oh, that makes sense.
The problem is what happened with Brad Kura and Benjamin Eady, it's not measurable. We can't tell, we can't prove it. If we could prove it, then we would say what took place is true, but we can't.
You know, we all want to be nice and love each other, but the truth hurts sometimes. That's just the way it is.
And so to some people, Brad Kura is like he's a lunatic. He's a psycho Christian fundamentalist who thinks he hears from God. And he might be that. At the same time, Brad might. It might be legit. And even logically in my mind, let alone theologically, it makes sense that Brad could hear from God and God could say, hey, this thing, which is a value, the church team, our team, it's being compromised by a person. Here's who and here's how. That's in short what took place.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Awesome.
I'm excited. Today we're going to baptize Lisa. Everybody say hi, Lisa. Which Lisa will explain a little bit more about her story, but in February, Lisa decided to follow Christ as Lord of her life. So today we're following up with that via baptism. In the family of God, that's what we do. Is that cool? Lisa, you've been baptized in Christ. Now you're raised. Sweet. Done and done. It started to weigh on me, like the different worlds, because they're so far apart. You know what I mean? Like my life is spent with people I love and people I think who care about something that I believe is greater than ourselves, and then I go to a casino where it's like
the complete opposite.
Just sucks. The transition gets old. baptize someone and then go gamble. Poetic justice. The biggest issue I've ran into in the last year regarding the nature of what blackjack is as a Christian, I think that whatever we put our hands to do should bring out more value in the community. It should be left better than when I found it. And my problem with blackjack is it in itself doesn't actually do anything. Where I've wrestled is, I have a conviction, I really believe that strongly. So there's 2 points of conflict. One, do I apply my conviction to everybody else on our team? And then two, like, am I even right? Maybe it's fine to help create a business and sustain a business where guys can just go do whatever they feel like, but I never came in here thinking this is the way I want to live. I wouldn't say I've lived like that, but I've endorsed a company that affords that lifestyle to a lot of people. It's been a point of wrestling that I really can't come to grips with. I don't really like Las Vegas very much. It's too self-aware. Not quite Kentucky. I know for sure for myself, I cannot live on blackjack and say what I'm doing is a worthy pursuit, a righteous or a full pursuit. I think man was meant to experience something way more tangible and simple than just robbing casinos and making a bunch of money and getting awesome comps.
I thought I was going to be brushing off cobwebs figuratively, but there's cobwebs there. We're going to have to play blackjack because we haven't closed the bankroll in a while. So it's time to make some money to pay the bills. So this is kind of a new experience for us, even though we used to do it all the time. But that's where we earn our money, is at the blackjack table. So we just haven't gone in a while, but we're going to probably play a lot of blackjack and not get much sleep. I always try and bring these because I'm a new person. You won't even recognize me. It's like I'm sophisticated.
I'm taking 40, you're taking 50.
All right, there it is, $50,000. When I come out, I'm gonna have a stack of envelopes that high. We'll see what happens.
I lost $11,200 and got backed off in just about an hour. So on to the next place.
I'm not that surprised by tonight. It definitely went bad. I mean, not as bad as it can go, but definitely on the worst side of things. You know, one of the worst case scenarios is you spend this whole weekend and you lose money. It's like, you know you're supposed to win, you should win. If you make enough trips, you will. But then a lot of you is wondering, well, what if I just wouldn't have gone on the trip? Like, maybe it would have been better if I just stayed home and I would have spent time with my family and got a bunch of stuff done and had more fun. But instead I went on this trip and I like lost the team money, so. I think your expectations going into this, it's really important not to like just put all your hopes and dreams on winning money or everything working out.
There is definitely not a conflict between my faith and my occupation. If anything, my occupation serves as a tool of God to strengthen my faith. I have nowhere else to turn but to God when, you know, a trip is falling apart and that's a month's wages going down the tubes. God knows all of my needs, and He knows exactly what order the cards are in the shoe. I mean, He's created order in the universe so that card counting is even possible. I believe every hand is determined by God. In the same way that if a sparrow falls, He takes notice. He knows every minute detail. He knows when I'm gonna hit and when I'm gonna stand. I actually wrote down a memory verse. I was kind of freaking out in Reno. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do, you know, because I'm not getting very many hours in. And I wrote down a verse in my iPhone, Deuteronomy 8:17 through 18. You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant, which He swore to your forefathers as it is today. And I read that in a hotel room out of the Gideon Bible. I was just kind of freaked out about how my trip was going, and came across that verse and was just like, God is so good. He's provided this for me, and it's strengthened me. There's definitely no conflict in my mind or my heart or my conscience. I know for a fact that this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. This is like my calling.
Picture, blackjack has changed everything for me. When I first got into blackjack, I never thought it would last very long, and I was like, oh, this will probably be the last year. And I've said that now for a long time. I was just like, this is the last year for me. This is the last year, this is the last year. And right now, I feel like this is the last year.
Got to experience a little bit of what blackjack players have been dealing with the last few years. It's kind of crazy out there. I don't know, I guess it's just one of those things. Maybe we're getting old. Well, as far as professional blackjack players, I guess we probably are old.
For me, mentally, I've been done with blackjack for a while. When I first got into it, I was excited about it. I loved the idea, I loved learning it. For me, I think now I'm coming to a place where I am less passionate about it. I'm looking for something else. I always am.
An identity, you know? As much as we don't want it to be, it's cool to be a blackjack player, and you talk to people and people drop everything at a party to talk to you.
I think the network that we've established with blackjack, I think will probably come and go for all of us. The most valuable thing for me is like, I hope the people that have come in leave better when they go out. I just want to, thank you guys for the ride, and I don't know if I'll have a better story, in this life. That time period was incredible. I look back and I tell people, some people go to business school.
I ran a blackjack team. So this Vegas trip is different because the main reason why we came wasn't to play blackjack, we came to actually train other players. We offered a boot camp so players can come to Vegas and pay us $1,000 and we'll hang out with them for one day. Hey, man. I think this is a natural progression of where we've come from. You know, we started off just playing, then we kind of moved towards managing. Now we're definitely looking for different ways of making money. Some sort of blackjack training or using our knowledge and what we've learned to kind of market a product, I think is where we're heading. Now really, like, the most important thing, I mean, counting. Like, if you guys can't keep a count at the table, you can't play. So, you know, in one sense, you're kind of like a superhero to these guys. When I first learned and I hung out with a guy who'd been doing this, and you see that they're on a team and they have, you know, money and they've been kicked out of casinos, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And that it's weird that we're that now to this, you know, small group of 10 people. Nice meeting you guys.
Like illegal, everything was illegal.
I don't know what's next. We have a couple of internet business ideas. In one sense, I can do a lot, and in one sense, I can do absolutely nothing. I have like no college degree. I have like no professional experience. You know, I'm not really willing to work a 9 to 5 anymore. So I'm not too worried about it in that sense. A lot of times I don't really know what's around the corner. And I don't really care.
Maybe Christian shouldn't play blackjack.